What's up guys, it's JTB Gaming here, and today we are back with another episode of our Cambridge United Road to Glory. In the preseason, we were able to win the trophy, but more importantly, we were able to win the prize money. For our youth academy, I am sending all of our scouts to South America this season. So for the first 3 months, we will have a scout in Uruguay finding a goalkeeper, a scout in Argentina finding some playmakers, and a scout in Chile finding some strong players. Looking at the teams that are in the Premier League this season, in these first 8 teams, there's not really any surprises. In these next 8 teams, there are not any other surprises. The last 2 teams, Watford and Wolves, are also not any surprises, as all the teams look very good, so this will be a difficult season for us. Looking at how we will be lining up throughout the season, we will be playing that 4-3-3 holding that we started using last season in the playoffs. We will have Gillespie in goal, Laird at right back, Hendricks and Jensen at center backs, Drummond at left back, Brown at defensive mid, Murray and Lopez at center mids, Gordon at right mid, Valera at left mid with Hansen up top. We will have McAvoy and Saldi, Campbell, Costa, Ennis, Rodriguez, and Mueller on the bench. Looking at our team rating now, we are now a 4-star team. We have an 81 overall offense, a 75 overall midfield, and a 76 overall defense. Looking at the players that are transfer listed, Bakili does not have a solid starting role in the team anymore, so I'm clearing room for more young, promising players. I have decided to sell Omergic as he no longer has the potential he used to have. I've decided to sell Wadent as he, like Bakili, will not be playing much and we need to make room for some younger players. I've decided to sell Martinez as he is a youth player who just does not have good enough potential. I've decided to loan out Issa, Nasser, and Costa, and Saldi, Paolo, Guzman, Campbell, and Owusu, just because none of them will be getting enough playing time, so I want to make sure that their potentials will still increase. We now get into the first game of the season as we host Crystal Palace. We will be lining up in that 4-3-3 holding. Crystal Palace will be lining up in a 4-5-1. Meyer and Musunda will most likely be the 2 dangerous threats, so they are the players we will have to watch out for. In the 26th minute, Laird bursts through the defense where he gets the ball and puts it into the back of the net, putting us up 1-0. In the 32nd minute, Murray plays Gordon in behind before he gets the ball and curls it into the back of the net to put us up 2-0. In the 38th minute, Murray plays Hansen in behind the defense before he takes a touch and volleys it post in, putting us up 3-0. In the 76th minute, Gordon is played in behind before he lays it across to Hansen for the tap-in to put us up 4-0. In the 91st minute, their player is dribbling towards the end line before he cuts it back as their player puts it into the back of the net, making the score 4-1. The final score of that game would be 4-1. We definitely just dominated the game, so we definitely deserve this win as we start off the season on a good note. After one of our league games, Valera has picked up an injury as he will be out for 4 weeks. We now have a big game in the league as we host Manchester City. We will be lining up in that 4-3-3 holding, and since Valera picked up that injury, McAvoy has stepped into the lineup. Manchester City will also be lining up in a 4-3-3 holding. They still have kept some of their key players like Ederson, De Bruyne, Rodri, Silva, and Sterling, and Cancelo, who will also most likely be the most dangerous players. In the 15th minute, McAvoy spots Gordon making a run before he plays him in behind as he puts it past Ederson to put us up 1-0. In the 51st minute, Murray plays Hansen in behind before he knocks it back across to Murray to put us up 2-0 in the game. At full time, we would go on to beat Manchester City 2-0. There was not a lot of chances in this game. We were just able to convert all of the ones that we had, meaning that we were able to get these crucial 3 points against Manchester City. Our youth scouts have returned from their first 3 months of scouting, and we now have them going out to find technically gifted players from Brazil, defensive-minded players from Bolivia, and physically strong players from Paraguay. After hosting Manchester City in our last match, we now host Manchester United. We will still be lining up in that 4-3-3 holding, as the only change that we have made from the Manchester City game is that Valera has returned from injury, so he will return to the starting lineup. Manchester United will be lining up in a 4-2-3-1. Their team is a very well-built team, so this will be a tough game for us. In the 28th minute, Gordon plays Lopez before he plays him back. He gets the ball and he scores near post to put us up 1-0. At full time, we would go on to beat Manchester United 1-0 thanks to that goal from Gordon early on in the game. There were not many chances, but that does not matter as we were able to convert our one chance as we steal another crucial 3 points. We now travel to the Molineux Stadium to face Wolves. Wolves will be lining up in a 5-2-3. Their left mid, Paolo, is one of our youth players that we loaned out. We will still be lining up in that 4-3 holding. I've decided to start McAvoy over Valera because McAvoy has potential to be special, and I want to make sure that he grows to be the player that he could be. In the 12th minute, Paolo gets the ball out wide before he crosses it into their striker, who puts it into the back of the net, putting the Wolves up 1-0. In the 49th minute, McAvoy is dribbling down towards the end line before he cuts the ball back into Gordon, who puts it into the back of the net, tying the game at 1-1. At full time, we would draw against Wolves 1-1. It was a very even game, so the draw was fully deserved. After that game against Wolves, we now host Spurs. We will again be using that 4-3-3 holding. Spurs will be lining up in a 4-2-3-1. We will definitely have to watch out for Phil Foden and Harry Kane up top. In the 21st minute, Hansen is dribbling into the box before he crosses it to Gordon as he scores, putting us up 1-0. In the 33rd minute, McAvoy is dribbling towards the end line before he cuts it back to Hansen, who shoots and puts it in the back of the net, making it score 2-0. In the 53rd minute, Sessegnon gets the ball out wide before he crosses it in. Drummond cannot clear it as Harry Kane puts it in the back of the net, making the score 2-1. In the 63rd minute, Sessegnon beats Laird out wide before he crosses it into Kane, who smashes it into the back of the net, tying the game at 2-2. In the 68th minute, we earned a penalty as Hansen steps up to take it, and he shoots it bottom left corner, making it 3-2. At full time, it would be a 3-2 Cambridge United win. This was a very, very close game, but we fully deserved to get the 3 points. We now have our first cup game of the series as we travel to the Emirates Stadium to face Arsenal. Arsenal will be lining up in a 4-2-3-1. We will again be lining up in that 4-3-3 holding. In the 33rd minute, McAvoy is dribbling before he plays it through to Hansen, who gets the ball and curls it around the keeper, putting us up 1-0. In the 80th minute, the ball is played into David as he crosses it into Daka, tying the game at 1-1. After 90 minutes, it is tied 1-1, which means we will now go into penalties. Looking at our penalty order, we have Hansen going first, Brown going second, Lopez going third, Gordon going fourth, Costa going fifth, Murray going sixth, and Hendricks going seventh. Pepe steps up to take it, but he sends the penalty wide. Hansen now steps up to the spot as we look to go bottom right corner. He shoots and it goes right off the post. David now steps up. He sends Muller the wrong way but misses the goal. Brown now steps up as we look to go bottom left. The keeper is able to save it. Kase now steps up and he is able to score even though Muller dove the right way. Lopez will now look to put it right upper 90. And he's able to do that as we tie on penalties 1-1. Daka now steps up. He sends Moore the wrong way, but he misses the goal. Gordon will now step up as we look to put it left upper 90. He also misses. Xhaka now steps up to take it. He also misses, meaning that if Costa can score this goal, we will beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. We look to go bottom right corner. Costa lines up, he shoots, sends the keeper the wrong way, and scores, meaning that we have advanced in the Carabao Cup. At the start of December, we have gotten some bad news as we find out that Shane Murray tore his hamstring and will be out for 6 weeks. This injury could not have come at a worse time as we have a very, very difficult month of December ahead. We now travel to Anfield to face Liverpool. Looking at the stat, we are now beginning the month of December and Liverpool have still only conceded 4 goals. We have only conceded 9, along with Manchester United and Manchester City, showing that we are one of the bigger teams in the league this year. Liverpool will be lining up in their 4-3-3 false 9. Their team is very, very good, so we will need some luck if we are to win this game. We will be lining up in our 4-3-3 holding. Since Murray is out injured, I've decided to drop Valera in at center mid. In the 17th minute, McAvoy plays Lopez as he plays Gordson in behind, who puts the ball into the back of the net, making the score 1-0. In the 36th minute, Bentancur makes a brilliant run into the box as he gets the ball and puts it into the back of the net, tying the game at 1-1. In the 46th minute, Ndombele is dribbling in behind before he plays it to Bentancur, who absolutely curls it into the back of the net, putting Liverpool up 2-1. In the 50th minute, Ndombele plays the ball in behind, but Jensen intercepts it before Ndombele bodies him off the ball to score the game-winning goal as Liverpool beat us 3-1. After that tough loss against Liverpool, we will look to rebound as we host Arsenal. We have not made any changes from that game against Liverpool as we continue to line up in our 4-3-3 holding. Arsenal will be lining up in a 4-2-3-1. They have made many changes from that Carabao Cup game, but hopefully that will not be enough. In the 13th minute, Gordson gets the ball out wide before he plays Valera, and Valera cuts it back and curls it around the keeper to put us up 1-0. In the 54th minute, McAvoy is able to dribble past the defenders before he gets into the box and puts it into the back of the net, making the score 2-0. At full time, we were able to beat Arsenal 2-0. It was a very even game, but we made more of the chances that we got as we pick up the 3 points. After a game against Arsenal, we now have a game against Chelsea. Chelsea will be lining up in a 4-3-3 holding. We will be continuing to line up in that 4-3-3 holding as we have not made any changes from that Arsenal game. In the 53rd minute, Rabiot is dribbling the ball before he delivers a cheeky pass into their striker, who curls it into the back of the net to put Chelsea up 1-0. In the 59th minute, Brown wins the Chelsea goal kick before it gets played into McAvoy, who puts it into the back of the net, equalizing the game at 1-1. In the 78th minute, Gordson is dribbling in the box before he shoots. The player touches it, then it hits the post, and it falls right to McAvoy's feet as he wins us the game 2-1. After that late winner by McAvoy, we were able to pick up another 3 points as we beat Chelsea 2-1 as we look to finish in a Champions League spot. After that game against Chelsea, I realized that the 4-3-3 holding was not working with Murray out injured, so I decided to switch us to a 4-1-2-1-2 wide as we will look to hit teams on the counterattack to take advantage of our pace. We now host Newcastle in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. We will be using that 4-1-2-1-2 wide, so we have Gillespie in goal, Laird at right back, Hendricks and Jansen at center backs, Drummond at left back, Brown at defensive mid, Gordson at right mid, Valera at left mid, Lopez at attacking mid, and McAvoy and Hansen up top. Newcastle United will be lining up in a 4-4-2. In the 21st minute, their player gets the ball out wide before he plays it to his teammate, who crosses it into the box as Batshuayi is able to put the ball into the back of the net, giving Newcastle the 1-0 lead. In the 41st minute, Newcastle whip a corner in before Gillespie punches it away, but Laird loses the ball to Batshuayi, who puts it into the back of the net, making the score Newcastle 2, Cambridge United 0. In the 65th minute, the ball is played into Mark Roca, who gets the ball, shoots into the side netting to put Newcastle up 3-0. In the 79th minute, Newcastle have a winger out wide as he crosses the ball into an unmarked striker before he puts the ball into the back of the net, making the score now 4-0 Newcastle. In this 87th minute, Valera whips the ball into the box before the keeper punches it away, and McAvoy volleys the ball into the back of the net, making the score 4-1 late. Looking at where the team is in all competitions in the league, we are in 3rd place, which means we will be playing in the Champions League next season. We also have Gordson, who is currently in 4th for the Golden Boot, but he is only 1 goal off, so we could have a Golden Boot winner in our first season in the Premier League. In the Carabao Cup, we were knocked out in the quarterfinals 4-1 by Newcastle. In the FA Cup, we have been drawn against Norwich. That game will be the first game of the next episode, so if you want to see that, subscribe. I hope you all enjoyed watching this episode, and it's JTB Gaming, signing off.